So in your various interviews that I've seen in YouTube and other media forms, you have made one comment quite frequently that India has financialized too early. So normally an economy moves from agrarian to manufacturing to a services sector. India has somehow jumped from agrarian economy to a services sector economy. As India aspires to reach a $35 trillion economy by 2047, what specific policy measures do you believe are essential to rebalance financial market growth with the real economic development?
Now, Alok, you are asking me very serious questions, okay? So, I will try and answer it in a more simple language. I feel about where India was, where India is, and where we would like it to be. So, when I started my career, I would say that India is so much behind in the financial sector. There was a time in 1985 when I started. Private sector banking or finance was about 3% of the total financial economy. The capital markets were closed. If any company wanted to raise capital, you had to go to the controller of capital issues in Delhi to get permission to raise capital for a company, and the price was decided by the government of India, not by the marketplace. So I have seen that significant financial repression of India and Indians way back in 1985. So I came from a mindset where Indian financial sector has to be unleashed and should be a part of a significant growth and catalyst for India. I also, in the 90s, saw the early opening of capital markets. There was very little financial savings going into equity. Most people believed equity was a very risky place to put your money, and it was for people who were satorias or speculators. And the policy framework, even in the early 90s, basically dissuaded Indian savings from the capital markets. And that's the time when India opened up the capital markets as well, which was early 90s. And we started doing international issuances, GDRs and others. And through that period, we saw the early development of capital markets where any Indian company needed capital. You would go to the GDR and the ADR market, not in the Indian capital market. And I would call that as the export of the Indian capital market. That we were exporting our market overseas. And Indian savers put money in fixed deposits or real estate. And of course, one investment which has worked beautifully, which is gold. But other than that, fixed deposits and real estate is where bulk of India's savings all went in. And that is the time when I actually said that we need to develop our capital markets, which happened. Then came the early 2000s. We saw a flourish of the Indian capital market system developing. You then saw global financial crisis in 2008. And again, Indian manufacturing industry post 92. When globalization happened, Indian manufacturing opened up and said, we are ready to take the challenge from global competition. And Indian manufacturing started building up its presence. However, then if I go fast forward, we were on a reasonable track till about 2020, and we had a fair balance between different aspects of the economy. However, COVID happened in 2020, and you saw interest rates go to zero globally. There was a huge liquidity surge which happened, and for the first time, sitting at home, Indians tasted the digital way of investing in the marketplace, which transformed, and Indian capital markets did very well in the post-COVID period. When I look at this, and I'm very proud that Indian financial markets have developed. However, what has bothered me is that as Indians have become more sophisticated across different sectors, including insurance, both general and life, one thing which came to my mind is, why are Indians not investing long-term in technology and research? And I talk to many of my people I've known closely who have sold their businesses, got huge amount of cash, and instead of building something, they've all gone into what is popularly known as family offices. So you sit in the morning, do some share trading, go back home for lunch and enjoy life, or things like that. And even I saw a significant movement of many Indians into, say, putting money in capital markets and mutual funds. It's a good thing, but many of them don't fully appreciate the risks. So the question I ask is, has India done enough to put money in research, technology and innovation? And have we become so addicted to short-term performance of share market that we have forgotten that long run India has to build? And with the latest, you are seeing developments in AI and deep technology, hardware in many ways, big change in hardware and design versus services and applications as the future. Has India got too much into short-term side of the capital markets versus a huge long-term investment required into hardcore technology and research? And frankly, many other parts of the world have made the same mistake. And you have to hand it to the United States and even to a certain extent to China, that these two countries are relatively much more invested in technology, research and long term. I think it's as big a challenge for Europe. And many of the countries in Europe and countries like India, as the Canadian Prime Minister said, we have got to make sure that we have a seat on the table and not a part of the menu. And that's important for us.